As unstable as the topic is for me, I'm thinking about him again tonight. I can't help but assume it's the music. It must be. Even in the best of times, this playlist lulls me into a vulnerable and sensitive state, which usually isn't so threatening. But the combination of that and my window being open for the first time in months, it's confused my body into half believing it's summer again. It shouldn't be this painful, but it makes me nostalgic. I find myself lazily leafing through all the darkest and most brightly lit memories of those hot, lively months, particularly its tragic end that I contently push away. My days since past have been centered on the new school, new friends, new experiences. No reason to think about the past at all. Until tonight. I guess tonight is different because through the music, I feel home again. Through the music that I've so long stayed away from because I know what it makes me remember. For the first time, I feel his absence as it should be, as it actually is, instead of what I wanted it so desperately to be. Missing him is like being a child, missing a blanket or toy that I know is never, ever coming back. The actual significance of the item is questionable, but the concept is all that matters. The value of it in gold, practically non-existent, but at heart it's priceless. You lived your life taking it for granted, the toy that is, and then all of a sudden when it's gone, you're empty. The leftover feeling after you've dropped it through the safety bars and off the edge of the fishing boat, and after you watch it sink and the bubbles of oxygen leak away and the green algae and mush completely conceal it forever, and it's absolute and complete loss. The limitless potential, as there always seems to have been, it's all gone. And that blanket, for all you care, it could have pulled you up and up and up past the smoggy sky and clouds of dust and into the stars. It could have, and that's all you need, is that it could have. And I guess, of course, scientifically, it couldn't have actually taken you away from your stupid little house and your stupid, ignorant town where nobody listens, but the feeling of that never changes. Science doesn't change it. The feeling never goes away completely. However, the regret that rests in the pit of your stomach, if you let it, can slowly ease over time. Even on nostalgic, summer-smelling winter nights. Stepping out of my metaphor and looking back at the picture I've painted is, as proud as I should be, still makes me feel unworthy. But of course, when your only reason to continue to love someone is the looming knowledge that they're never coming back, I can't help but feel that that'll always make me unworthy. Or so far that's what I found. The abrupt summer end was when he very briefly became my salvation. It was fascinating that someone so like me had not only breathed and ate and walked, but had really thrived and was still at the time thriving just beneath my nose. And the fact that he wanted to talk to me, just me, it swept me up and completely blew me away. Here was someone who could string amazing words together and really understand them and explain them to me. He described me to himself on the beach, on the bench, by the fire, his thirst to see everything. And I know my mind plays tricks on me about that night, but I feel like I almost know. He quoted not a philosopher, but an actor. And it was simply, "How can I die without seeing every inch of this world?" After you left us, nobody was safe from the wretched emptiness you left behind. I spent 2 full days in bed, and on the benches at parks and in the basement of sympathetic friends, secluding myself in my memories. I didn't want to share them, I didn't want to talk, I didn't want to realize. Unfortunately, I couldn't go on like this for long, nor could I go on to any of your memorials or tear-filled kickbacks in your honor. Plans for me to go see my grandparents in Iowa had been set months prior, and since I was still built to please at the time, I didn't stop to think that maybe it would be better for everyone if I'd stayed home and recovered. Sometimes I still wonder if I'd be any different if I had let myself heal properly. Once my bags were packed and I was faced with the prospect of making my own decisions again, everything that passed through my consciousness reminded me of you. The local news station playing in the airport, and the way my own hair smelled. Worst of all, my own reflection. From that, you can't get away. The music that had always drowned out every other ounce of feeling. The music, it fueled this assurance that all the hope you'd given me was gone. I stopped listening to it completely. When I returned home, the general hype of my friends and most of society was focused on school and the new semester just days away. I was far from forgetting you. I'm still far from forgetting you, and even though I don't write too much anymore, and I have other things to cry about, I wish you could somehow know that I love you. I don't know you well enough, and I didn't know you for long enough to truly satisfy my craving for your brilliant ideas and all your stories and the way your eyes look just ancient, even at merely 18. I wish you could know I live my life the way I do because of you. You can never come back to me or to any of us, but I can't help but feel that someday there will be a moment when I am free to dive into the water and sit peacefully below the surface with you until we're both ready to swim away and beyond, past the school we escaped and the bookstore we worshipped and the people who hurt us, but we forgive for the same reason I forgive you. My future on this earth won't be easy, and I assume it will be a while before I'm driven to write to you in this way again, whether you hear every word or none at all. For now, I can't say it matters. Someday, and I feel this like I've known it all my life, someday I'll find you again. And you can pull me up and up and up and past the smoggy sky and clouds of dust and into the stars. I miss you, and I really hope I see you soon.